Hello, today we are going to run KDE Plasma Mobile, which is a shell for smartphones, mobile devices, tablets, using postmarketOS in a QEMU virtual machine. For that I searched on the internet for KDE Plasma Mobile. This is the website. And then this is the Getting Plasma Mobile. So this is the install button in the main menu of plasma-mobile.org website. Says distributions for ARM devices. I do not want to run KDE Plasma Mobile on an actual mobile device. I want to run it on my computer. There's plenty resources for computing on my computer. I want to run it as a virtual machine, for instance, or as a Linux container. And says distributions for x86 devices. That would be me. Says postmarketOS is able to be run in QEMU, and thus a suitable option for trying Plasma Mobile on your computer. That's exactly me. Read more about it here. This is a very brief wiki page. Says that it's possible to run postmarketOS, which is a Linux operating system, on a x86-64 virtual machine. How do we actually do that? I don't know. This thing. Says it's possible to use postmarketOS inside the virtual machine. We need to install this thing which is called PM Bootstrap. PM Bootstrap is a command line application for postmarketOS. I can install it either from my Linux operating system, apt install PM Bootstrap, which might download a older version of the PM Bootstrap tool. So let's go with the latest version of the tool by using Git. These are the instructions. So it says that I need to have Git installed, which I do have. Let's start running the commands. So we're using git clone without history. This is --depth equals 1 from gitlab.com postmarketOS pm bootstrap.git. I need to create a ~/.local/bin directory. It's already, I have already created this thing in the past, and it's also in the path environment variable, which is the first thing in the path. So ~/.local/bin. We'll create a symlink such that PM Bootstrap exists in ~/.local/bin, so we can run it without specifying a full path or a relative path. Let's prove that the tool works. And it does. Okay, back to where we were. It says install PM Bootstrap. We did that. And we need to select QEMU as a device. Okay, we should not use CPU emulation. We should use AMD64. PM init is a wizard. And this is where it works, ~/.local/var/PM Bootstrap. These are APK postmarketOS binary package channels repositories. There's the possibility Edge, which is newest software, 23.12, best stability, and 23.06 unsupported. So we'll go with the newest and greatest, which is channel edge. Okay, then it says that I need to select a vendor. So either a hardware vendor such as Archer or Apple or Asus or QEMU. Let's go with QEMU. And the possible devices for the vendor QEMU are the CPU architecture. So AMD 64 is mine. Do I want a long-term support kernel? The latest kernel, let's go with the latest. Username administrator. These are my previous settings. I have run this wizard previously. Okay. Provider default means WPA is applicant for Wi-Fi. Great. It needs my password. I'm not sure exactly what for. And now I should select a user interface. Could be a graphical user interface such as Plasma Mobile, or could be console. No graphical touch UI. Let's go with Plasma Mobile because that's what I want to test. This user interface has an extra package, meta package for additional Plasma Mobile apps. Yes, let's have the full fat experience of KDE Plasma Mobile, including the curated list of applications. Okay, do we want to change anything? Extra free space, boot partition size, parallel jobs. Okay, we'll not change anything because immediately here we can see that we can specify the size of the virtual hard disk, and while booting, the entire available free space in the virtual hard disk will be used. Okay, so we don't change anything. No extra packages. We can install these from the command line. We have a graphical user interface terminal application, which is called QML console. We can go with GMT. English US, UTF-8 is mandatory. Device name. No public SSH keys. SSH server is installed by default. Build outdated packages. Don't build anything. Be as fast as possible. Okay, it says done. So this was the wizard. It asked for data entry from the user. And now this is the step that actually creates the virtual hard disk. PM bootstrap install. Preparing H root. Downloading many APK binary packages. postmarketOS UI Plasma Mobile. Maybe the postmarketOS APK binary packages are prefixed with postmarketOS minus. You can see minus base, minus UI Plasma Mobile extras, minus base, no FD, whatever that thing is, minus UI Plasma Mobile. Many Plasma Mobile applications, fonts, wallpapers, a perfect selection for trying out KDE Plasma in a virtual machine, mobile, KDE Plasma Mobile. Okay, it asks for the password. You need to be careful with the password because by default when you are on the lock screen, you are offered to only enter numbers. So this password, maybe it's recommended to be numbers only. Otherwise, you will need a on-screen keyboard. So it's faster to log on if your password consists of only numbers. And this is it. The virtual hard disk is ready. Which we can see which it is when we run the next step, which is pm bootstrap QEMU, which actually starts the QEMU executable with a very long command line, where it specifies the amount of RAM, where the init.rd is, where the kernel is, where the virtual hard disk is, etc. I have run pm bootstrap install. It has downloaded a APK tools static, installed many Alpine Linux packages, including the KDE Plasma Mobile applications, the web browser Angelfish, the file manager Index, of course, Noto fonts, the on-screen keyboard, Mali it. This is the phone dialer. This is the agenda, the contacts. This is the alarms, clock application, weather, sound recorder, camera. This is the equivalent of console, so a terminal emulator that works okay on form factors like mobile phones and tablets, but also on desktop computers. Okay, theming, the App Store, possibility to install Flatpak applications, RSS reader, audio player, desktop calculator, client for metrics, client for Mastodon. When I ran the part, the wizard pm bootstrap init, it asked me for the name of the user that should be created. By default, that was user. I have selected the user administrator, and now it asks for the password of this user. Retype. I'm not sure why pm bootstrap init requires sudo on the hardware machine. In order to mount, yes. Okay, /dev/install QEMU -amd64.img. And the root file systems and the intermediate directory where building takes place is this one, //.local/var. The SSH server is running by default. The port will be specified, was specified during the PM Bootstrap install wizard. So creating the image was done in a chroot with APK packages from Alpine Linux and postmarketOS. Okay, next up we need to run PM Bootstrap QEMU, which will start QEMU. We need to specify many command line parameters, so let's look at the help. Let's start with the given command line. Image size to G. Can we make this 20 gigabytes? So image size, second storage is if we want SD or eMMC, nope. We want a ton of random access memory, so let's go with 10 gigabytes. Port 2222 by default for SSH, it's okay. No KVM, CPU, hopefully it's the host computer's CPU. Tablet should probably be the default. Let's make it so. Display, the better is probably the default one, which is GTK and the OpenGL acceleration turned on. Okay. The resolution indeed should be small because we're trying to have a similar experience to a tablet with a small resolution or with a phone with a small resolution. So 768p, 60 Hertz, that should be like a tablet. Use the host system's QEMU. I'm not sure what that means, but sounds okay. Should probably be the default. And let's see. Error. So the error is that my user, which is probably this one, hopefully PM Bootstrap did not create another Linux user on my hardware machine. That would be interesting. Says could not access the KVM kernel module. Searching on the internet for the error. Says that my user should be member of the Linux user group named KVM. So I am a member of libvirt, but not libvirtd. And probably I cannot access /dev/kvm. Okay. The other solutions are the same thing with dev kvm. So let's see. Probably need to be super user. Yep. And I probably need to reboot the machine. Let's try to run again. So we're trying to start the QEMU virtual machine. Now this resolution seems really small. So I managed to start it with the correct size, which is 1024 by 768. You need to be very careful on how you resize the QEMU window, how you play with the QEMU main menu, because that will trigger, as in my case, it told KDE Plasma Mobile, please resize to some very huge resolution. Then fonts were extremely small. In this case, the solution for me was to actually log into Plasma Mobile and resize from there the KDE Plasma Desktop Mobile. Okay. And we're back to where we started. Everything is extremely small. Hopefully this is the setting. So from the QEMU main menu, view and uncheck zoom to fit. Okay, so this is the lock screen. We have the clock, daytime, volume. This is probably networking. And this is the lock screen. I have created a password for my Linux user, which is a problem because the on-screen keyboard only allows you to enter a PIN. But since I'm using QEMU, I have a hardware keyboard. I can enter the password using my keyboard. Okay, just a second, let me enter the password because the password is echoed on the screen. Okay, let's press enter. And now we're logged into the Plasma Mobile desktop. At the bottom, we have the usual window list, application, start menu, and close. This is the application list, very similar to Android versions. This is the home screen. This is the list of applications, extremely similar to the Android version that I actually use. Back to where we were. This is the first run wizard welcome application. Let's follow it. Welcome to postmarketOS. Next. Dark theme. Let's go without for a while. 24-hour format. Yes, please. Let's actually select in here New York. No Wi-Fi. No cellular. Enjoy. Okay, this is the list of applications that are installed. At the top, we have also similarly to Android, the quick settings. From here, we can start the full settings, which is the system settings KDE application. We can close applications by dragging them upwards. This is the QML console. We can close applications by clicking on Close All, Confirm Close All, or from the up list, and then close button. Okay, all of the applications have started full screen. There's a full window manager Wayland compositor in here, which is KWin. There's somewhere hidden the possibility of actually having more than one window on the screen at the same time and resizing windows. Let's dig a bit to using QML console. So that's PS3. X Wayland video bridge. Discover notifier, the daemon for I don't know what. Start Plasma Wayland. Start Plasma Mobile. Modem Manager. Network Manager, WPA supplicant for Wi-Fi. Bluetooth D. Pulse Audio. Pipewire. OBEX probably for Bluetooth. Crony, which is a AT replacement, or cron, daemon. There's no systemd in here because it's postmarketOS, which uses Alpine in the back. Can we move these things? Okay, top. KWin Wayland. This is the window manager Wayland compositor. There's the X server X Wayland running and listening. This is the calculator application that we have just started, which is this one. So everything works okay up until now. The only hiccup that we actually had was resizing the QEMU window and unchecking zoom to fit. And the fact that KDE Plasma, once I restarted QEMU, has actually changed inside of the virtual machine the resolution. And then it was really hard to click here because all of the icons were really, really tiny. And then click here and then find where display configuration is because I couldn't see the text. And then from the first combo box, go with something smaller. So the resolution was 1:2, which is probably this one. 5120 by 2160. Okay, and these icons are also extremely tiny. And these. Hopefully it's not intentional to have so small icons. Okay. We have this hot corner. Let's see what it does. Doesn't do anything. It's just hot, but it doesn't do anything. Let's go to the settings application and see what it actually wants to do. Up-down arrows do not work. Search, it was be edge. Nothing about edges. In the left hand side, there's no tree view, there's just this list. Probably the shell is not the shell that we're used to in KDE Plasma, which looks like this. But it's a, maybe this shell is, I don't know, written in Qt widgets, and this other one is written in Kirigami, QML, Qt quick controls too. In here we have actually a tree view with sub navigation from workspace behavior towards screen edges. Whereas in here it's just a flat list. Okay, in here we have a menu. Information is called about this system on my machine. This looks like a standard Kirigami about page. Let's look at the software version. Really fresh Qt, really fresh KDE frameworks, really fresh KDE Plasma. Where's the on-screen keyboard? Nowhere. I cannot scroll with left mouse click, similar to a finger drag, but I can scroll with my mouse scroll wheel. Lock screen automatically. Let's disable this thing. How do we apply settings? Is this instant apply? I'm not sure. How do we go cancel? So where is the cancel button in the system settings? When I go add a new user, how do I cancel this action? How do I go back? Okay. Also, I cannot see the additional menu of system settings, which is at least this one with about KDE, about system settings, handbook, etc. Okay, so that's system settings, but with a different shell that we know from the KDE Plasma desktop. This is the KDE Plasma Mobile desktop. The applications list. Let's see what we have here. The most important application by far, the web browser. Let's see if this thing works. Kind of. I don't know how to emulate a finger. I cannot do with any of the buttons on the mouse. There's context menu in right-click mouse. How do we go back? Go previous. There's no back button. What does this button do? It just closes an application. That's not that useful. Closing applications is pretty easy. You just go to the list of applications and you close the one you don't like. This is the RSS feed reader. Kirigami application. Kirigami about dialog. Let's see if copy paste works from the exterior towards the virtual machine. Let's copy the RSS feed from planet.kde.org. This thing. This. Nope. Okay, so HTTPS planet kd.org atom.xml. https://planet.kd.org/atom.xml. Add feed. Okay, so the problem was that I went to add feed when it used to work. So manage feeds, add feed, and this is supposed to be a placeholder, but then it's way too dark, the font color. So this was totally not obvious to me that it was placeholder text. So this is the blackness of the text, and this is the placeholder text, which is not light enough in my opinion. Let's see if we can improve the font technology. Settings. There's fonts somewhere in here. This thing. Anti-aliasing enable. Okay, let's see the rest of the settings. RGB and full. This is also a Kirigami combo box because you cannot click anywhere in the combo box. You need to actually click on the text. On full, you cannot click in here, just on top of the text FULL. Okay. Hopefully it's instant apply. How do we test this thing out? Open Alligator again. And our font's a bit darker. I know. Manage feeds and add feed. I'd say it's a bit darker. Now it's more obvious to me that this is just a placeholder. Because I thought this was the actual text and I just pressed the add feed, which of course does not look as a button, looks like a menu with sub-menus. So we need to press cancel. Okay, can we replace the close button with a back button? Let's try that. Where would it be? In shell. Navigation panel, always show keyboard toggle. Action drawer. Let me search a bit for a way to replace this button, the close button, with the back button. Maybe it's possible, or maybe not. I did not manage to find a way to do it. Being KDE Plasma, I thought this is certainly customizable somehow. Maybe not through any UI, graphical user interface, but maybe from the command line. Okay. Let's go back to the list of applications. So just dragging from the top, does not matter where you start with dragging. It's the exact same effect. Okay, so Casts is a podcast client, similar to a RSS feed reader. This is the file manager, named index. Desktop documents. Okay, back to where we were. Applications that are running show a small circle beneath the icon. So we can see that Alligator, Index, System Settings, and Terminal are the applications that are currently running. So 4 applications. Go to the app switcher. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And here I can drag with the left mouse button, similar to a finger drag. The gallery photographies application. This is the Matrix client NeoChat. And the other client, which is Tocodon for Mastodon. Okay, so everything moves exactly as expected. None of the applications crash. They start correctly. they are maximized by default. The system settings behaves as expected. So everything is as expected in here. Five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 call. Modern devices are not found. Yes, I do not have any SIM mobile phone hardware. I'm not sure why the settings does not work. Should probably show the about dialog from Kirigami. Okay, the other mobile phone application is the SMS application. We don't have any contacts yet. Open Contacts app is not that easy to work. It should be installed in here. It's called Phone Book. Clicking on the plus add button does not do anything. Okay, so the application phone book has 3 bugs. From space bar, when I click on Open Contacts app, the application does not open. This button doesn't work. And maybe this button. There's no about dialog, which I think is a minimum that all applications should have, even if the application is written in Kirigami. So that would be this thing. Right? So from the application, if I know how to go back, from the application there should be some menu, a hamburger menu and main menu, something, which takes you at least to this page, the About page. There's absolutely no reason for an application to not have this About page. Yeah, some applications maybe do not have a settings page. That's okay. Undo, redo. Convert meters per second square. So that's what? Acceleration. Meters per second, that's speed, and yes, probably acceleration, I don't know. That's the only conversion that it can do. Acceleration, yes, it can do way more than that. Currency. Okay. So you need to drag in here. I don't recognize any of these. Let's go USD. So 50 euros is what? I'm not sure how to use this application. You need to press the equals key. Nope. No clue. So I have selected euros. I have selected dollars. This button reverses. And I want to convert from 50 euros. How do I do that? 0.0. Pressing enter does not work. Clicking on this equals does not work. Selecting another currency doesn't work. Maybe it cannot, it doesn't really know the currency rates because it cannot connect to the internet, etc. But then it should write the error not only at the console, but also in here, because this is a GUI application. There's no console in here, and it's also running full screen. What is this? Joules. Wow, all of the possibilities for joules. Decajoules, decijoules, millijoules. Wow, that's not okay. Okay, yes, the mile per gas. So 7 liters. And now it knows how to convert, because maybe that was the thing with the currency. It wasn't able to download the today's currency rates from the internet. Temperature, yes, classical one. So let's go with 100 Kelvin to Fahrenheit. Minus 279. Okay. Close the application from here. So the minimum phone applications are phone book, and spacebar. The minimum applications for a general purpose computer would be the file manager, index, and terminal. And yes, some way to install applications, so the App Store. But then this, what is it? Is it an App Store for APK applications, for postmarketOS binary packages, or just for Flatpak, FlatHub? What is it transferring? So it tries to download the upstream metadata about APKs available in Alpine Linux. And it has finished. Maybe PackageKit has a backend for APKs. Let's go with installed. Elisa is in here. Let's see what we can do with it. It says from APK. We can select from FlatHub. Let's remove it. Let's see that it has disappeared. Elisa letter A, it disappeared from here. Let's reinstall it. How do we do that? Let's close all. Unable to load applications. What applications are there to load? You just have downloaded all of the upstream data for APKs. Okay, so these are the installed applications. Alpine Linux packages. How do we search in here? Elisa. Enter. Not so easy. Multimedia. Okay, this thing. Click on Elisa. Goes to the page in the App Store for Elisa. In here we can select to not install it from APK but from FlatHub. Let's actually install it from APK. And then okay, so we can uninstall it but cannot install it or something. So I go copy to clipboard. What does that thing do? Do we have a text editor? I don't see one in here. No text editor. There should be a note-taking application, right? Why not? Let's paste in here. How do we paste? Ctrl-Shift-V. Error. Installing package Elisa failed, add package failed. So that we could also see in the UI. It's just the message box and copy to clipboard copies the text displayed on the message box, or the window title plus the text that's inside the pop-up window. How do we close this thing? Not like this. Okay. Again, there's no back button. But now we have Elisa here available. So it was installed correctly, but it just returned some error. Okay. Let's see if we can uninstall straight from the applications list. Let's do a long press. It tries to put it on the home screen, but we do not want that. Can we press the escape key? Nope. How about right click on this thing? Nope. Middle click, left click. Left click opens the application. That's because I can uninstall applications from the Plasma desktop start menu. I can go, I don't know, graphics and uninstall Scanlight. Right click, uninstall. Okay, so such a shortcut, if you're inside KDE Plasma being the desktop one or the mobile version, and you also have the Plasma Discover application, the App Store installed, it makes sense to be able to uninstall applications from all of the application launchers and lists, including this one. Okay, Ocular PDF reader, but with a mobile Kirigami version. They have an about page. Back. Close. Let's try to install an application that was not installed previously. Discover. Let's install Contrast. Can we select to not install it from FlatHub? No, because it's not available yet as APK, probably, I guess. So it's going to be installed from FlatHub. No other options. So this is a Kirigami pop-up window, model window. If we click outside of this model window, the model window docks here in the bottom left. If we click in the bottom left, it becomes a model window again. There's a cancel button. So it's a flat pack application from FlatHub. It's going to install the KDE runtime. Let's see if launching works. It does. Let's see if we can open it from the application launcher. It's contrast with a key. I cannot see it in here. So maybe the Flatpak enablement is not good enough. If applications installed from FlatHub do not automatically appear in the applications window of KDE Plasma Mobile. Or maybe it's in here, but I cannot find it. Contrast. Well, you can always launch it from the App Store. I totally do not know how to use this thing. Mark as favorite and randomize. Okay. I could see the usefulness of this application and its randomize button. Let's look at the favorites, and it's in here. Okay, and that's about it. There's an App Store. You can install both APKs, which are the native binary file format from the operating system. The operating system is postmarketOS. Or you can install Flatpak applications from FlatHub. There's a system settings available. It's stripped down version of system settings. You need to disable suspend device after if you're actually running in a virtual machine, not on a mobile phone or on a tablet. And also screen locking locks screen automatically after 5 minutes. And then there's the usual things that you know from a mobile operating system such as Android. So a button bar, applications, this is the home page, home equivalent of the desktop. Then there's the applications if you click twice. You can also move the drawer to see the applications. There's quick settings if you... What is this thing? So these are notifications in the left hand side, and in the right hand side are the quick settings. The settings that you can toggle are night color, airplane, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, mobile data, sound, okay. There's the shutdown and reboot button screen in here. So restart, shutdown, logout, and cancel. Suspending sleep if you're watching a full screen movie. There's just the web browser Angelfish by default, but maybe you can install something extra. Let's actually try to do that. So discover, let's search for, there's a button in here, okay. Not NCSA Mosaic. Okay, so Falcon is available both from Flatpak and from APKs. What about Firefox? What's the ordering? Okay, so Firefox, ESR is available from APKs. Let's install it like this. Firefox was said that it was only available from Flatpaks. Let's see if that's the case. So this thing is only available from FlatHub as a Flatpak, Firefox, but then Firefox ESR is available only as an APK from postmarketOS. Okay, I've just installed it. Why can't I start it? Firefox ESR, here it is. And now contrast has appeared. So the flat pack applications do appear after a while in the applications list. If your resolution allows, if you're on a tablet and you have enough resolution, at least 1024 by 768, then Mozilla Firefox works great. You can do all of the things that you can do on a desktop computer. The theming is interesting, not KDE theme. I'm not sure how friendly it is to just being used with the finger, but since I have a mouse and keyboard, it totally feels normal. Just a bit smaller resolution. Searching works in the URL bar. Context menu works. Everything's as expected because it's a desktop application and I'm just running it in a mobile shell, not actually a mobile application. Let's see if YouTube works. YouTube big block. Yeah, why wouldn't it? It's just a x86 AMD 64 64-bit CPU. course it works. That's the advantage of actually having a mobile device that's using Intel AMD x86-64 CPU, not an ARM CPU. You have access to everything. All of the streaming websites and real desktop web browsers. Okay, so that's it. I'm impressed. I have seen a Plasma Mobile Linux operating system that totally did not work, but this one seems to work incredibly well. Some of the applications are not fully developed, but other than that, and even the fact that I can install APKs from the Discover App Store, which means that there's a package kit backend for APK, totally unexpected. This is it. This is how to run a recent enough version of KDE Plasma Mobile, the shell plus the associated applications in QEMU, not on a real mobile device such as a mobile phone or tablet. The advantages are that this is extremely fast because it's using my actual desktop class CPU with all of my CPU threads and a ton of random access memory. Everything's as snappy as possible. I do not need to copy files over USB in order to test new applications. I do not need to cross-compile applications from x86-64 towards ARM-64. Many advantages. The disadvantages are that this is not actually hardware that has cellular 5G connectivity, mobile data, etc. So it doesn't have the hardware that's usually available in mobile devices, such as a webcam. Thank you.